What's good, everybody? Welcome to our brand new channel. This is Bobby Reacts. So I know a lot of you have come to know me as Bobby Spectates because that's something that I tend to do for videos a lot. And as someone that I feel like is known more for my reaction to things than actually for my gameplay itself, it seemed like a kind of a no-brainer to just go ahead and make a reaction channel. This is not necessarily just for Call of Duty Mobile. There probably will be a lot of Call of Duty Mobile, especially right now when there's a lot of stuff going on and everything like that, but this will be for a lot of stuff gaming related, probably eventually sports related when sports fires back up because I am a huge basketball fan, but probably just general reaction videos to a lot of stuff that's going on. So if you guys enjoy my content and want to drop a like and subscribe down below, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to try to upload on here every day if I possibly can, and whenever we're doing our streams over on Trovo, most of the time before I go live on YouTube, I have kind of just like a chatting time with chat where we talk about things, whatever, and things come up that we usually end up talking about. So this is what this is from. If you guys would like to go follow me on Trovo, you can do that. The link will be down in the description. But anyway, in today's video, we are talking about the new #1 player on the leaderboard, and I'll go ahead and let you guys watch the video so you have the full context. But hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll go ahead and hop into it. Fun facts about the leaderboard. #1's a controller player. #2 is a thumbs player. Okay, I knew about the controller player. I did not know about the thumbs player. And I actually went through all this work to get my controller to try to play on controller, and it didn't even work. There's some delay on controller. Yeah, but apparently the #1 player in the world. What do we think about controllers, chat? How do we feel about the fact that the #1 ranked COD Mobile player plays on controller? I think he's kind of manipulating the system. It's COD Mobile for a reason. I agree. Okay, so let me pull up the guy. Facts: you shouldn't be able to use controller. So the thing is, both controller players and emulator players are supposed to be matched up. They're supposed to be queued into separate lobbies from mobile players, but if you're using a controller and you have a team of mobile players, you'll still match up against mobile. So I don't really know, #1, I don't feel like you should be able to get onto the leaderboards. I feel like controllers should have separate leaderboards, you know? You can see right here, he's got his X button bound. Can we go to, not a spectator view? It actually shows up better in non-S&D. So you can see right here, he's got the L1 plus R1. So you can see, very obviously a controller player. Controllers were made specifically for consoles, you know? So #1, I don't think console, it's the same as emulator players. I don't think emulator players should be allowed to match up against mobile players either. And on top of that, at least in the COD Mobile Championships, for right now, tablets are allowed. Controllers are not allowed at all in the COD Mobile Champion, which additionally makes me I don't know. I feel like somebody that plays on controller should just not be able to be #1. And it's not even like this is crazy gameplay either. I think a lot of it is that the servers that he plays on, how the freak is he alive right now? How the freak did he stay alive for that long? The competition that he's going up against is just not really that good. EP gypped with the follow. Why not play? Exactly, that's the... Well, and I think it comes down to he wants to play against, easier competition. So, more than likely, he's an average console player, so he's oh, let me just hook my controller up to mobile, and that way I can play against mobile players. And it definitely, more than likely, he's probably been playing on controller for, a really freaking long time. Kind of potato ape. I'm not really sure how he made it to #1. Because yesterday I was just well, I know Jokes is not #1 on the leaderboard anymore, and I don't think Cristalli is either. I wonder what this guy plays like, and then I looked it up, I was why is there L1 plus R1 underneath his operator skill? And I was oh, it's a controller player. Interesting. Tablets are going to be allowed. They'll be allowed in round 3, but there's no news on whether or not they will be in 4 and 5. And honestly, it doesn't even look like aim assist is broken at all on controller, which is part of the reason why I'm so surprised that he's #1. What about #2? Apparently #2 is a thumbs player. You know what? Well, while we're at it, we'll look up the #2 player as well, Saint. All right, chat. This is the number 2 player. Copyright strike! That would have been... Okay. The second, I was like, wait. He just missed an easy snipe. Wait, I am Confucian? Yeah, apparently he's actually a thumbs player, which is... I obviously I have no issue. Honestly, none of this is... Okay, that was a pretty good snipe. Shot the guy in the foot. He definitely does not use hipfire sniping. Definitely uses ADS to snipe, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I would say when it comes to playing on... What the frick? When it comes to playing on phone, it definitely makes more sense to use ADS to snipe rather than hipfire. That was a nice shot too. You can tell definitely by how he like... You can see that the shoot button moves as soon as he scopes in, which is how you can tell that he uses ADS to snipe rather than hipfire. Yeah, he looks pretty good. Not like cracked out of his mind good, but he's pretty good. Does he like only snipe, or... He's definitely really good for a thumbs player. Obviously, thumbs player. Oh my gosh, it's loud. Why are there no volume controls?
Bomb acquired.
It's just like, if these are the highlight clips, like obviously, nice little 3-piece, but those don't feel like highlight clips type things that you would post, you know? Crazy how a thumbs player with default HUD's number 2 in the world. I mean, honestly, it gets to a certain point where your HUD doesn't really... Like, the leaderboards are really more than anything just about who plays the game the most. It's not really that much about... But yeah, this guy's number 1, and he actually plays on controller. 3RB squad clan. I wonder if that clan's on the leaderboard. But yeah, you can see that he's playing on controller because if you look right here, you got the L1 plus R1 for that's his keybind for activating his operator. And honestly, he's really not that good. He's really, like, no disrespect to him, obviously, but like, mobile players are hitting those annihilator shots every time. And obviously he's got good game sense and everything, and that is what it comes down to a lot more, but I don't know. I just don't feel like... I mean, number 1, they obviously need to do something about the way that matchmaking happens whenever you have a controller player, because basically all you need is like one mobile player in your lobby, and you're automatically getting matched against other mobile players. But honestly, I think this mainly comes down to he plays the game a lot and isn't going up against great competition. Like, that was the first time I've seen him get lasered at all. But you look at the people he's going up against, they're all like 3 and 10. They're all on controller, though? No, if they were all on controller, then they wouldn't be able to find matches. I don't know if any of you guys have tried playing on controller or emulator before. You can't find rank matches at all after, like, Elite 2. Because there's so few people that play on controller and emulator that you just, like, you can't find matches. Like, think about how hard it is to find matches at the beginning of the season in Legendary. You know? Like, there's nothing super crazy about this guy's gameplay. And I guess that's part of the reason I don't have, like, any real issue with the fact that he's on the leaderboard. Like, obviously, most of this just comes down to the competition that he's going up against isn't, like, crazy difficult. And so you play controller. Yeah. Like, I don't think playing on controller is a big advantage. Honestly, more than anything, I'm kind of shocked that he's on the leaderboards. How can he queue with mobile players? So basically, if he teams up with mobile players, then he can match up against mobile players.